Okay, morning folks. Welcome to the briefing on Thursday the 29th. The launch point vehicle at the moment, because this is probably the only place I get a decent mobile data signal. Because unfortunately we had a fire in the clubhouse in the early hours of the morning, and it's a bit trashed, and all the electrics are down, and it's heavily smoke damaged. So the clubhouse basically is a no-go area now, and the clubhouse area outside is all roped off. So if you're listening to this on a mobile device nearby, please don't go in the clubhouse. If you're coming up today or in the near future, you won't be able to go in that area. A bit unfortunate, but that'll be rectified by the insurance company at some point fairly shortly. Weather today, well, gap between low pressure systems and weather fronts, and you can see that little ridge of high pressure building to give us a nice autumn day. It's lovely and sunny here at Lasham at the moment, and you can see the isobars. They're not sort of too tightly packed together, so it's going to be breezy but not exceptionally windy like it's been the last couple of days, but pressure is still low, so it is unstable. But I think not enough to really trigger showers or anything like that. So the tasks for today, quite nice. It's good when you see a short Farnborough TAF that basically says the wind's 270, 10 knots. It's going to be a little bit more northwesterly, I think, looking at the SOC at the moment and other forecasts. And few at 3.5, which means sort of 4 to 6/8 probably. Realistically, and the upper winds, as I say, they're fairly fresh. You're looking at 20 knots, I think, here, maybe a little bit more across the middle band of the country from the northwest. One thing that made it, if you look at the fairly steady direction all the way up, you may start to get some wave influence from Wales, affecting the thermals and breaking things up, or even actually getting some wave further towards the Cotswolds. Stat pic shows lovely and clear. No evidence of wave in here. Sometimes you do see that, but yeah, nice sort of picture today. Temperature wise, you can imagine the temperature is building quite nicely, but it's not going to be the warmth that we had over the last week or so. So 15, 16 today at best, and dew points are fairly low. So there's still a good dew point temperature split. Haven't managed to load any soundings. It wasn't playing ball this morning. So we'll just go with what Top Meteo are saying. That's sort of 1 o'clock. They're saying 1,500 meters, so 4,000 feet-ish above sea level. It seems to tie in with what Farnborough are saying, and you know, even into late in the afternoon, 1,600 meters, so 4,500 feet above sea level, so fairly reasonable. And cloud amounts, I would think by 10, half 10, we're going to start to see cumulus, and then it builds up during the day. They're showing sort of what they call congested cumulus, not spread out, but you know, sort of 6/8, so quite a lot of Q during the day, and that remains the same for most of the day. Bits are spread out in places, but sort of cumulus right till probably about 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. And then we start to see the influence of the next weather system coming in, which is out here. And tomorrow looks possibly flyable in the morning, a bit wet in the afternoon. So nice day, folks. Westerly, northwesterly wind, fairly fresh. On the ground, 10 knots plus, 20 knots of flying heights. Soarable from late morning onwards, and it should be good for this time of year. Airspace wise, Southampton's usual slight change in hours of operation is number 8. number 10, clay pigeon shooting. Number 11, there's no danger area crossing service. 17, 19 and 21 are sort of, if anybody's going out to the northwest, relevant. So we'll have a look at those. Military parachuting near Swindon. That's 9:45 to 10:45. So by the time people start heading cross country, that's probably over. Fairford ATZ is activated between 6 and 2 this afternoon. 21, there's parachuting actually over Bryce Norton between 8 o'clock and 2 o'clock local time. And that's really about it in the sort of area you're likely to be flying in or heading cross country until you get into very West Wales and out here. So all looks relatively relaxed in terms of airspace. Operationally, we're on 2.7 for the day. I think the grass should be okay now. It has rained rather a lot recently, but we should be able to operate fairly normally on the grass, perhaps with the booms on the cable truck. There is a jet movement forecast for about 1 o'clock. So slightly flexible timing on that. And we'll just see how that goes. Okay, and hopefully we'll see you out there, folks.